That was real good. That was like, that was money, first of all.
Let's do another one.
Okay.
What is up, everyone? I am Chris Knight, and you are watching the Real Review 3000's, the weekly wrap-up. We're going to try things a little differently today, trying to kind of run off the, or a little off the cuff here. Different tags, stuff like that. We're trying some new stuff here to see how it helps the numbers and stuff. Hopefully it helps out. Glad to have you guys here. As you know, we talk about just basically what we've been doing on the Real Review 3000. Lots of stuff has happened over the past 3 weeks. Been kind of silent, kind of not here. Internet issues about 3 weeks ago, last week, or 2 weeks ago, something like that. Last week, family stuff had to be taken care of, and kind of this past week, we just did a few other things. We did start back up on Unmasking the Masked Singer, and of course, we did the Chaos Central shows. Reminder: this week, starting tomorrow night on Danny Graham's show, The Chaotic Conversation, all Chaos Central shows will be on Chaos Central only. So if you're not yet subscribed over there, go to youtube.com/Chaos Central to get subscribed. Please go over there so you can see all of those shows. That's where we're going to be. That's where we're going to do everything from now on if it's Chaos Central. So really excited about that. We're going to really be pushing things over there. But other than that, basically 2 videos every week from now on Unmasking the Masked Singer. One on Tuesday nights before the show, which is on Wednesdays. Just go over things that I've thought about, maybe change my guesses, which are going to happen on Saturday. First guesses are going to be on Saturday. Changes, updates, things like that will be on Tuesday. And then, of course, Wednesday night's the show. It kind of works out that way. That way I can do my Wednesday show without a problem over on Chaos Central. So basically, that's all that's going on. We are going to try to get back to a normal schedule of certain shows this week. I don't know if we're going to be able to do the weekly Rumble this week. We're going to see. Got to work it out with everybody else. But as always, we have other people here that we're going to bring in. That's just a quick recap of what's going on. First off, I see Zach's here. Zach, I can never say Zach's last name. That's my fault. Wookiee Supremacy, see you. Austinator's here. Shadow Hunter's here. Dandelion Fluff is here. You guys are all awesome. Is Chris losing weight? I am trying. I'm trying to lose weight. Always trying. So let's bring everybody in right now that is here. Elihu, Austinator, and Dandelion Fluff. Good to have you guys here. Thank you for being here. Everybody in the chat, thank you for being here. If you guys would like to join, there is.
I'm going to keep my camera off for a few minutes because I'm still eating because I haven't had anything to eat since breakfast. So
that is fine. That is quite all right.
It's sushi, so there's like giant pieces. It looks gross if I'm eating. So
here, pick up. Just kind of tilt your plate towards the camera. I want to see what type.
I've only got like a salmon piece and like one California roll left. I'm almost done. So they weren't fancy. I just got them at the grocery store. But anyway.
At least it's not gas station sushi.
You know what? The best sushi place I know is at a gas station. It's not the gas station.
Gosh.
But the sushi place is right next to the gas station, and their sushi is amazing.
Oh, wow. All right. So guys, thank you for being here. We're going to try to get this tweeted out all over the place. Hopefully get some more people over here. If you guys haven't done it already, please do me a favor and tweet this out. I'll let people know that we are up and running again. Why is the sky blue? Yeah, hey, I give you credit, Shadow, for reading the description. That's how I know people read the description. Definitely different than most things I thought. I was like, hey, I'm going to just write a basic description. We're working on
the easiest light of the spectrum. That's why the dust particles reflect off of it. So,
yes, I know the reasonings, but I'm just saying that was one of the things I put down in the description. Because
sorry.
I'm trying to do things to kind of drum up and see if people will find me by just searching and stuff like that. I'm trying to build things up here, so that's kind of what we're doing. So, what have you guys been up to? Anybody having fun, doing anything crazy?
I mean, nothing crazy, unfortunately, but I am watching Man of Steel, which, I mean, that's crazy enough, I guess.
Yeah.
I finally got my telescope.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
It only took like how many years?
2 months.
Yeah.
Well, the bad thing.
Did you pay for next day shipping?
No. It's supposed to be 2 to 3 days shipping, but the COVID regulations had the warehouse shut down. So, of course, as soon as I got it, the astronomer's worst enemy, worst nightmare showed up.
Interesting.
Clouds.
All right, let's see here.
Okay. Oh my god, I should just leave my little picture up. I'm called disheveled. It was raining when I was out grocery shopping, so.
My camera's off because my hair is messed up. I didn't wash it today or comb it. Really.
I'm just trying to share out the stream to people. So,
how have you been, Eli? I haven't seen you around that much lately.
Well, I've been here physically, not mentally.
Okay, well, you know.
Oh, you're never here mentally.
Well,
I'm just saying. So, has anybody been doing anything fun? Anything?
Nope.
No.
Nope. I'm so sick of the orthodontist right now, and that's all I will say about that.
What is fun? Like, is fun even a word?
Yes, fun is a word.
Yes, it is.
I think it is.
I guess yesterday I mean I went on a rant about furniture, so I mean
that was pretty fun. I enjoyed that.
What was the rant about furniture? About?
It was really bad.
Oh Jesus! More of that.
For further context, Chris, we were reading Adam West Batman fan fiction. It was Batman and Batgirl fan fiction with Adam West Batman, and basically Bruce wants to get married because of reasons, and Jim's his best friend, and he's like, "Hey, you should marry my daughter," and Bruce is like, "Okay, I will do that." And then
he was like quite a lot younger than him in that.
I think so. I think Barbara was in her 20s, and I think Bruce was like 35. And
not Adam West Batman.
And then so Barbara then goes on a rant about how the furniture's got to be changed, and then I went on a rant for about an hour about how Bruce's parents would be ashamed of him because of his lack in taste in furniture.
Well, he wanted everything upside down.
Interesting.
That would have been awesome, actually. That would have been better fan fiction. No, this was super awkward. It's like they'd read some like really bad Harlequin romance novels and then tried to write Batman fan fiction based on that, but they did a really awful job because there was all kinds of like really contrived tension, and it was just like, but why? I don't know. It was I enjoyed it.
And furniture.
I mean, you were reading
Don't
of
forget
it.
the furniture.
Yes, there was many uses of furniture in sexual positions.
We didn't even get there was not even, it wasn't even like good stuff. It was just like
that would actually have been an improvement if there'd been some like, partaking of the furniture.
Oh, there's many uses for that armchair.
What's going on, Gaiskar? Good to see you here. Glad you're here. So like I said, we got Wookiee Supremacy here, Shadow, the Basco scenario, or Gaiskar. Got 10 people. That's not bad for not even doing anything until like 10 minutes ago. So I'm happy with that. Let's try to get some more people in there. I don't know how many people we got currently with. I don't know how many people do we have currently.
There's 10 watching.
10 watching, yeah.
But I mean, I'm one of those people.
Yeah, so am I.
See here, we got 9 likes, so let's try to get that up a little bit. But guys,
I remember if I liked it. I did.
Okay, so I know one of the things I wanted to talk about is that the Snyder Cut's coming out on the 18th, and I know Dandelion, you have no care in the world about it. So I thought, hey, well, we can talk about it. Well, we're going to talk about that, but we're also going to talk about St. Patty's Day because this week is St. Patty's Day, and tomorrow is a little lesser known holiday type thing called the Ides of March, which is also my birthday. So
That's why we got to be aware of it. Okay.
Yeah. But let's talk about St. Patty's Day. St. Patty's Day's traditions, things like that first. Let's talk about that. What does anybody do anything for St. Patrick's Day here? Anyone?
No. One of my coworkers has a birthday on the 17th.
Who does? Oh, your coworker.
One of my coworkers. So I'll probably take him in a jar of marmalade that I made.
Why not take him some corned beef?
Because he likes the marmalade that I make, and I have no corned beef. Oh no, I know what no, actually no, I'm gonna buy him a present. I already know what it is.
I'm just doing my show, that's it.
That's it? Oh. Austinator, do you do anything for St. Patty's Day?
Not much. The only real thing that we usually do is like we eat corned beef and cabbage, but otherwise that's about it.
Yeah, being Scottish, and Welsh, and English, I don't really celebrate St. Patrick's Day.
But I did learn something about myself. I am not a huge fan of corned beef.
Yes,
really?
It is quite disgusting.
I love corned beef.
It's good.
I love
it's not bad, but
Reubens.
I don't know.
I love Reubens.
I know. I don't mind like a really nice, like a Montreal smoked meat is nice, but if it's like a can of corned beef, that's not fun. That's just like salty pink ooze.
Like Spam.
Yes, very much so.
I can get corned beef down the street if I want.
Mm.
I didn't know we were supposed to eat corned beef for St. Patrick's Day.
It's something that started in the 40s and 50s.
Does everybody know what St. Patrick's Day celebrates?
Did Patrick chase some snakes out of Ireland?
No.
Somebody knows.
No.
I know it's not.
No, he's okay. He chased snakes because he was supposedly surrounded by snakes, and he supposedly chased them out. He didn't chase all the snakes out of Ireland. It was one situation that happened.
Listen, it was he led the
one
snakes
snake, and it wasn't even really a snake. It was actually
Okay, so those of you, and this is, and yes, I'm going to give you a history lesson in.
I know the history.
In Catholicism. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to give you history on Catholicism here, even though I'm not Catholic. My father was, though. So, in order to be sainted, besides going through a number of votes and people, nominating you, dead or alive,
don't you have to have done like 3 miracles?
Yes, you have to perform. I think it's 3 miracles, and that was one of his miracles, but it was also his last one. Hence the reason why St. Patrick's Day happens close to another thing that is closely related to St. Patrick's, which is Snake Saturday. Most people don't know about Snake Saturday, but it was the Saturday before the day he was sainted, or that he was made a saint, and that's why they call it Snake Saturday. So there you go.
Well, you guys know that. You guys know that he wasn't even Irish.
It doesn't matter.
And there was no Shamrock legend associated with him, and there was no snakes involved.
Oh, I thought I was going to get away from this today. I really.
But this is one of your topics, Chris.
It's always worth it.
Oh, look who it is. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It is Rosetta.
I miss you.
Hey, darling. How are you? I haven't seen you in like forever.
You got like a new camera too, didn't you?
I'm not usually around Sundays.
I know.
I've been doing a lot of tweaking in the room here. I'm going to be in the other room as soon as I can finish redoing it. It's just a lot of work to empty out 10 years of craft supplies that were up to the ceiling and sorting.
Yeah,
I understand completely.
Well, we're currently talking about. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. Rosetta, what were you going to say?
I'm just happy to see you for a few minutes. I realized I was home today because I couldn't go with him today, and I had streaming an art stream earlier and realized you were going on, so I kind of ditched my second charger in the stream for a little bit and popped over here.
Well, thank you.
It's still going.
Happy birthday to me. I think last year, what's funny is, so last year, Rosetta was on a trip across the country, and or wait, was that after? No, yeah, that was you came back here the week that we closed down. That was so she was staying at the hotel where I work, and we shut down everything on my was it on my birthday or the 14th?
It was a couple days after because we took you out on the birthday.
Yeah, okay, so it had to have been on St. Patty's Day then when we did it last year.
We shut down on Friday the 13th here, so.
Is that camera lighting or are you?
You're breaking up your signal.
You look red right now.
Oh, yeah, I might hear. I can.
This has been looking really red lately, actually. I've noticed that. You looked really red yesterday evening, too.
It's the camera. It's got a mix, like it has a middle ground, and I try to. And also, I've been running all day today. I have a headache, so it could be a lot of those things. But, you know.
You know, it works really well, like a little light foundation.
Oh, yeah, sure. Because
it'll
be spots. Ooh, hello. I like that. Here, hold on. Let's, I better watch what I said. I was about ready to say, let's blow.
Let's blow
that up.
It's not a
awesome.
This is I got a set of the pinups done by McKinney, and I've been working on them.
Very nice.
That's awesome.
Love it.
That's
Just
awesome.
like right now, Avatar is one that Yitzy made me.
Very cool.
So do you do anything for St. Patrick's Day, Rosetta?
Usually most corned beef because I like corned beef.
Okay, yeah, see. That's typical. That's like the only real thing you can do.
I'm not a party.
Well, there's nothing. There's no place to go. None of those St. Patrick's Day things are happening. I don't even think we're doing our St. Patrick's Day parade here in Kansas City. They canceled it last year. I think they canceled it this year just to keep things.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
try to keep things from happening. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. But the other thing I was going
video that I took at the park.
Ooh, hold on.
Oh, grass snake.
He's a garter snake.
Garter snake, sorry.
Look at that. How big was it?
I don't know, like foot or so long. Not very long, maybe 18 inches.
Just you just got down. You got really close to it.
Oh yeah, well the park is just chock-a-block with garter snakes. They're everywhere.
Is it?
Yeah, I caught that one sort of out in the open, so I could follow him for longer because he had further to go before he hid in the bushes. So,
I guess I could come up there and rid the snakes of the park, or rid the park of the snakes, and get sainted maybe.
Just because of your little name, you want to try and like smite snakes in my park?
Might as well.
But they're just garter snakes.
Someday they're going to saint me anyways. I might as well start with something really easy, like getting rid of snakes in a park.
But they're garter snakes and they're adorable.
I said the park, not the country. And they'll just go across the street.
I want snakes in my park. I love the snakes. It's like my favorite part of my.
Point of order on snakes. What's that, guys? I have something on that. Point of order on snakes. They're not fun in the parks, especially. Like my dad, you step on one barefoot. I've never seen a guy with muscular dystrophy jump like that. But they are fun to collect as pets, especially put in the underwear of somebody who you really can't stand who hates snakes. I mean,
your signal's breaking up, Rosetta.
But I probably shouldn't hang out long. I just had to come hi to you while I had a chance. Poor Richard's left in his zone right now.
All right. Other than St. Patrick's Day, I was going to talk about the Snyder Cut coming out on the 18th. So we got the 17th and the 18th. Tomorrow's my birthday. It's a great week.
How exactly is it? Is it coming out like? Is it coming out on television or is it coming out
on HBO Max for $15 a month?
Oh well, I can't get that in Canada anyway. So.
No, but well, you can, but you have to do certain things to get it.
Yeah, you can. There's certain ways to watch it without going through.
Do I have to like suck up to somebody or?
No. So you need a VPN first off. You need to have a VPN that you can tell it your internet service that you're not there. and then you can use somebody's HBO Max account and you can watch it.
Yeah. Or I could just like let you guys tell me what was awesome about it afterwards. Which is what I
think eventually you'll see it anyways, but
yeah, eventually I'll see it. I just,
thank you, Shadow. Appreciate it.
I just won't be seeing it this week.
Today is Meredith Sellinger's birthday and Penny Gerald Johnson's birthday.
You know who else's birthday is tomorrow?
Today.
Snyder. D. Snyder.
Twisted Sister!
That's right.
So what's supposed to be so exciting about the Snyder Cut? I have seen the various DC movies.
Do you remember the end battle where the sky was red? The sky was red because they were rushing through and had very little money to do CGI. The sky's not red anymore. That's a big example.
Okay.
Well, that's no. So Snyder only 10% of what Snyder shot actually made it into the first version of Justice League.
Okay.
This is all the stuff they didn't use.
Director's cut kind of thing, but I've heard there's like they're doing like different scenes and they reshot.
Yeah, no.
Yes.
They didn't use anything except for 10% of what he did. So the other 90% of what he shot was his movie, but they cut it out completely and used a couple scenes. So what he got was originally 30 million, then they upped it to 70, and I've heard upwards of 80 million now given to him for finishing off special effects. I've heard some people say that they don't like Steppenwolf necessarily the way it is now. I think he looks better.
He looks way better.
Yeah, it's not a helmet anymore. It's part of his head.
Actually, here, have you seen the new trailer, Dandelion?
The Octabeam trailer?
No, here.
Oh, yes. The Omega Beam trailer.
The Omega Beam trailer, yes.
The fact that Darkseid has the Omega Beams made me go, okay. Now you have me hooked.
Let's see here if I can find it.
I mean, they're releasing 28 seconds to 34-second clips almost every single day.
Yeah. They're really pushing it. An hour of it was leaked to people who watch Tom and Jerry.
Yeah, I know.
Hey Tim, what's going on? I gave LDG the link, and Darren has the link, and hey B, it's up, and it's in. Well, no, I mean for the stream, come on the stream, and it's in the chat here, so you guys can go back and you can find that. Let's do this. We're gonna share screen.
I just realized this takes a lot of juice out of my computer, so I gotta plug it in.
Yeah. All right, guys, here we go. This is the new Omega Beam trailer.
The great darkness begins. I will bathe in your
Can you hear it?
Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah.
There's an attack coming.
Not coming. It's already here.
Oh,
The only thing I would say in terms of Darkseid is maybe make him a bit taller.
Yeah, but okay. Well, here, let's watch this one, and then
This world is
He
divided.
gets great television reception with that.
Too separate to be one.
I'm sure he does.
No protectors here.
I'm looking forward to the Amazon fight.
This world will fall. Like all the others. For Darkseid, I have turned 100,000 worlds to dust. When this world is scorched, all of existence shall be mine.
Green Lantern.
Could be cool.
Yeah, I mean, they have all sorts of different ones that they've just been pushing all of these.
Darkseid one. Oh.
No, this is the Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay.
It waits. Something is coming.
Yeah, the last time she just saw the arrow on the TV, and next thing you know, cutscene.
This is the only way. I watched your island burn.
Show him your fear! They said the Age of Heroes would never come again. Don't engage alone. We do this together.
I'm looking forward to see how John Jones plays in this.
Yeah. But you know what I've heard is it's going to have a cliffhanger at the end.
That's when they Mahabharata.
They've talked about that perhaps two of the heroes are going to die in this one, which I've heard Wonder Woman and Aquaman are going to die. But he had a second movie, a second part that he wanted to do, and I think that they're just going to give him part of it, and people are going to blow up and say, "Hey, wait, no, we want to see the next part," because they already have a hashtag finish the Snyderverse out there.
Verse.
Yeah, was the Snyderverse. So I mean, you know, what do you guys think? Do you think they're gonna have to do that?
Yes, because Marvel's doing the multiverse, and DC always tries to copy Marvel, vice versa. So it's DC's trying to do a multiverse. They're always on the tail coats of each other, and they have a history of doing that.
I'm not even talking about a multiverse. They're talking about finishing up the vision that Zack Snyder originally came at when he had Man of Steel, and then they did BVS, then they did Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman fit pretty well into the BVS thing because it had the picture and it explained all of that. And then they did Aquaman, and Aquaman kind of started to break ranks, but it was still somewhat in that universe. Shazam worked within that universe. Suicide Squad worked within that universe. So they have a lot of that stuff going on, and I think that people are just going to say, "Hey, wait, we want to see the rest of what he had in mind."
Yeah, if the Snyder Cut Justice League actually pans off, people impressed with that, then yeah. But if nobody likes it, then they're not going to demand any more.
Well, the hour that was leaked got rave reviews.
So now that we've seen trailers, is everyone still as excited about it because I know there was a lot of hype going into it?
No.
You guys noticed that every once in a while you see a Flash trailer, a Superman trailer, Batman trailer, right? They have one of them. Cyborg had two. Why did Cyborg have two? Because the trailer with Deathstroke was leaked after the episode was leaked. That the second trailer Cyborg came out because let's cover our asses here.
Austinator. I mean, I'm excited to see it. I mean, I won't say excited. I wanted to see it because it's like, hey, I want to see what he has. But go ahead, Austinator.
Well, I was gonna say in terms of the movie itself, I'm excited for it. I'm not to the point of excited where I'm like, oh my god, like this movie's gonna be the greatest movie of all time. Like, I'm not expecting it to be. I'm expecting it to be better than what we got.
Yes.
Now, as far as as far as like the Snyderverse is concerned, if this movie does really well in terms financially and critically, then absolutely they should, and they probably have to. But if it doesn't do well, and if it doesn't do that great, then it's gonna be, then no, there's no point. And I've been saying this: if the movie's bad, it's gonna be a waste of time, because this movie, my biggest concern is that it's 4 hours. And I hope that they use their time wisely. If they don't, what was the point?
Well,
extended battle scene for the Amazon, extended opening battle scene.
So here's the thing about this. And I've said this before. Okay, so even up until like a day before they announced they were going to do this, I said I won't believe it until I see it. Well, it happened. The 18th, we're going to see it. Here's the thing. I've said this because this is what made it. Hey, memes, what's going on? Good to see you in the chat. Thank you very much for being here. What got this movie made was the Snyder fans. And Snyder fans won't care if it's good or bad. They'll say it's the best thing they've ever seen.
even if it's not.
That's how Snyder fans are. Okay, so there are tons of people who really, really, really like Man of Steel. I really like it, but there's one glaring problem with it, and that's how they kill his dad.
Yeah, come on, Tornado.
So here's the thing with his dad, and Dandelion, have you seen Man of Steel? Okay, so when his dad dies, how does he die? He dies because a tornado comes and gets him, right? I mean, the tornado comes and takes him up, and he, as he's sitting there with Clark before he dies, he tells Clark to go and don't save him. I don't see a younger Superman not taking that risk because he's like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm fast. I can just grab him. Nobody's going to know better.
Isn't that always kind of the key thing with his dad dying of a heart attack? Was that he tried something that he
exactly.
Something he could not do.
It taught him a lesson.
Yeah, he had no control over anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the whole
I
point.
always thought that was kind of like a key element of like character development for him, as opposed to something where he could have helped, but didn't even try, or wasn't allowed to try, or something like that. That seems like that would develop a much different. It would give you something different inside, right? You'd always be trying. Yeah, I get.
I forgot which movie Clark said that. He said, basically said all my powers, and I couldn't save him.
That was the original one.
Thank you.
That was Superman the movie, and he said, you know, he talks to his mom before he leaves to go to Metropolis, I think, and he says, you know, all my power, and I couldn't save him, and that's the key. That's why his father, in most circumstances, has died of a heart attack, because Superman couldn't do anything about a heart attack. And so I think it was the worst move that Snyder made, killing his father off with the tornado. It was like, what's the point?
A really odd choice.
But
is there a tradition in like the comic books for that to happen, or did he usually have a heart attack there too?
Heart attack.
Yeah. Okay.
In different ways, and sometimes it happened in town, sometimes it happened at the farm. You know, the location changed sometimes, but it was always right there around Smallville. But you know, I loved the way that Snyder used the almost the oh shoot, now I can't even think of the word. Oh shoot! That sucks.
I'm not a mind reader. Sorry.
Coming of age. When he's in school and he starts, all his powers start just coming into play. With it, you know, with his X-ray vision, he hears everything, and he hides in a closet to hide away from everybody because he's scared of it. When he does that, it's really good because, again, I can't think of the name.
So they have it coming in like with puberty kind of thing?
Thank you. That's the word I'm thinking of. I can't
puberty.
Puberty. But it's his puberty because he's all of this is going on and he doesn't know what to do.
It's weird that he wouldn't have already had those as a child, but sure,
well,
whatever.
The thing is that the sun affects him, and that's what gave him his powers. So therefore, perhaps you know, as his body changed, those things more.
Well, that makes sense, I guess.
I don't know. And again, there's no precedence.
You can kind of explain it away, but yeah.
I know people didn't like him killing Zod, but he does it. He does it. So I was okay with that. But for all the things that people didn't like about Man of Steel or BVS, I think overall his vision was pretty darn good. And I mean, I think that if they've gone this far, that they don't know what they're going up against if they say no, you can't. That we're just doing this and stopping. I think AT&T wanted to give him the chance. I know Warner Brothers and DC didn't. So AT&T owns them. Maybe we'll see it. I don't know.
Do you know why I think the original failed? Besides bad editing and bad production.
Why?
Take Marvel for instance. You had Iron Man, then you had Thor. You had the introduction of Guardians. That's another introduction of Guardians. You had Black Widow and Hawkeye slowly introduced. Then they assembled as the Avengers. Justice League. You had Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. Oh, all of a sudden we have the Justice League. without an introduction of Flash here, or a Cyborg there, or an Aquaman there. Just all of a sudden, boom, team up.
Huh.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was the worst. That was a bad
Like,
part of it.
hello. I mean, that's
The
why
only
basically
character-
it's kind of like WandaVision. Everybody was expecting a huge villain reveal. Like the Thanos was not revealed until the end of Avengers itself.
Did I really just
this.
come into WandaVision? Did I really just
No,
come into
not really.
WandaVision?
No, you did not.
No,
you did not.
It was
no,
just an
no.
example.
Thank you.
It was an
Okay.
example. Okay.
And nobody expected a big reveal. They expected Feige to live up to his word and give us what he said he was going to give us.
A connection to
Exactly.
I did hear a lot of that didn't happen because of COVID. So like that it wasn't quite what it had intended. It wasn't.
But
what it
there was the
intended to
problem
be.
though, is that they
Then you don't do it.
They shouldn't have hyped
don't-
it that way. Yeah.
well, they weren't going to release this until the end of this phase. This was going to be one of the last series they released. So why not just hold off on it then?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it was just that there's just so much of it. There was just such a demand for content that they kind of they probably got pushed into doing it, whether they wanted to or not.
Well, give us
Darren,
Black Widow then.
One, hi LDG, hi Darren.
Hey.
Well, yeah, I think that it was. I don't know. They needed to do something. But with Snyderverse, again, you're going against a group of people that started off with a small hashtag that was called "Release the Snyder Cut" because he kept on telling everybody, "I have this cut. It's ready to go." And I mean, I didn't believe it was ready to go. I didn't doubt that he had the film shot, but I knew that all the computer graphics weren't done, all the special effects. So somebody close to him started the whole "Release the Snyder Cut," and then it took hold, got traction, and before this was over, I think it was like trending like 2 to 3 weeks before they said they were going to do it. It was trending in the top 10 things constantly. That takes a lot. So that was an organic movement. Right. If they don't think that this movie could be much better than Justice League, the original version, and still be mediocre. And on top of that, all the Snyder fans will love it and say it is the best damn DC movie ever made. And they will finish the Snyderverse will blow up. And they'll be in the same position that they were when they came up against the Snyder Cut. Warner Brothers and DC did not want to work with Snyder. They didn't want to do this anymore. AT&T stepped in and said, "Sorry, but they want it. If it's even remotely close to done, let them finish it." But the problem then is you give them it. Now they're going to say, "Well, why not? Why don't you give him a chance to show us what he was going to do with the rest of it?" And especially if you give him a cliffhanger. If this does end on a cliffhanger, especially after 4 hours, you don't think people are going to, again, mediocre to decent. If this movie is mediocre to decent, you're going to have so many people pissed off that they don't know what's coming next, that they're going to blow up about this, and they're going to be put in this corner that they almost have to finish this. That's what I think is coming up. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, first of all, I want to mention that the Snyder Cut is the original version of the film.
What I mean, though, is that nobody has seen this, therefore the original. Right. It's like Superman 2.
Right.
The critics will get the advanced copy of it Tuesday. That's when the reviews start coming out.
Who is?
The critics. Yeah, they get it about 3 days ahead.
I'll have to send something out to HBO about my press pass, see if I can get something.
Yeah, the critics are all going to shit on it because most of the critics, and there's montages you can find on YouTube about this. There's montages on YouTube of people in media and in comic book media declaring that there is no Snyder Cut, that it doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. They were so confident that the thing would never be released that they went on an extra limb and declared that that these idiot fans, I'm saying idiot in air quotes, are trying to get something shown that doesn't exist. And then all of a sudden, the actor who played Darkseid tweets, I was in that. Here's a here's a moment that I was the film I was in, and suddenly everything starts unraveling. and they had to eat. They haven't even eaten crow yet. They haven't even acknowledged the fact that they declared that there was no Snyder Cut yet. They're still in, that silent denial that so many people are in.
I said that I didn't think there was, but I always said that I'm not one of. I wasn't heavy on either side. I wasn't heavy on the release it. I wasn't heavy on the don't release. I was just like, hey, if it's there and he gets to release it, fine. I didn't think it was going to happen. It did, but that tells you the power that this movement had. And I cannot see that if enough people like what they see, and again, I said this before you showed up.
Yeah.
If you're a Zack Snyder fan, it could be the world's worst crap in the world, and you're still going to say it was the best thing you've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
So there's enough of them. Go ahead.
It's not going to be hard to beat what was in theaters.
No,
because what was in theaters was a mess. You could tell who directed what scenes were from the original cut, what weren't. You had two conflicting directorial styles and two different conflicting storytelling styles, combined with a lot of changes that were made. I mean, we were promised Dark Side in Batman v Superman, particularly the Ultimate Edition, which is the only edition I've ever seen. And then we got Steppenwolf throughout the whole film.
Yeah. Well, they went and they made Steppenwolf the main baddie and the one we got.
Hey, I was looking forward to Batman vs Superman ever since I saw I Am Legend.
Yeah.
And I mean, but like I said, the Snyderverse people, the Snyder fans, there's enough of them that they got this movie done.
And that's what infuriates the especially the comic book media and the geek media, is that these ordinary people got what they wanted. They were able to bypass the gatekeepers and even Warner Brothers, and they got this edict about the Snyder Cut came from AT&T, the people who own that company, and it's that's what just it makes them so indignant.
Well, here, so Shifty, you're absolutely right. I said it. Warner Brothers and DC didn't want to work with them anymore, so they've done everything they could to subdue this. Everything you have seen put out there is either being done by his company or by AT&T. That's where the dollars are coming from. Warner Brothers isn't even trying to make this work. And the thing is they want it to fail, but because they're trying to not hype it up, people know what's going on, and I don't think they're going to win this one. And they're going to be put into this corner where AT&T is going to look at them again and says, well, I guess they want to see more of his stuff. So, they're going to go to Snyder and say, well, how many more movies do you need? He says, well, I got Justice League 2. I've got Man of Steel 2. I have a Flash movie. I'd like to have Affleck back and do his Batman movie. And then I want to do a Flashpoint movie.
Did Snyder direct, which of the earlier movies did he direct? So I didn't keep track of who was directing. So.
He did Man of Steel, DVS, and he was supposed to do this one. He had a Man of Steel 2 scripted, supposedly, and after he dropped out of Justice League because family member died, I think it was what it was, and as soon as he did that, Warner Brothers and DC saw their way to get him out, and they basically just said, "Screw you, you're out. Josh, come in, finish this movie, and we're going to act like this didn't exist." So the next movie they did after Justice League, I think was it Aquaman?
I think so, yeah.
Aquaman is ambiguous enough. It can fit into the Snyderverse, but it doesn't really acknowledge anything you learned about Aquaman in Justice League. It kind of just says I'm the same.
It references the other movies, but that's about it. It's all it does.
They're supposed to explain where he got the armor from.
Whoa.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Were those Snyder directed films very successful? Like commercially successful?
So
I'm
that's
just curious.
the key. So
they weren't bad. I mean, they made some money.
Man of Steel was a little over 700 million. BVS was under $1 billion. And what happened is, and this is what I've always said was the problem, Warner Brothers with DC properties sets a number before the movie's even done and in the can. And when it doesn't hit that, Warner Brothers has a really bad habit of just slamming down on the brakes and saying, "Oh, this isn't it.
We got to change. We got to change gears."
Right.
You know,
I'm just curious. Like, I mean, everyone's really excited about the product that Snyder's making, but I mean, unless it is commercially successful, you're not going to see more Snyderverse movies.
My big question
when it comes right down to it, money is what drives all of this. It's not. I mean, obviously, we would like it to be the desire to tell a good story, but the only way it can be, it has to be a good story, but it also has to make money because
what I don't understand is, and I've been seeing this in the past couple of weeks now, especially on other channels have been covering it, is why. You know, when we are the ones that are buying their product, we're the ones making them their freaking money. Why do they hate us so much? When we're the ones that are putting food on their table and letting them buy their yachts and their big you know 5-story houses and shit. We're the ones that are paying their bills. We're the ones that are making them their billions of dollars. Well, and they come back and when we're not happy with a product, then all of a sudden it's our fault. And I've been seeing this pop up with there was a hit piece put out on Geeks and Gamers recently and a couple other channels, and I think they were talking. I think the backlash went back to like the Rise of Skywalker, the sequel trilogy, you know, and it's like. They just can't let it go. They just cannot let go the fact that the fans have a voice. Thanks to the internet, we have a big voice now where we can voice our opinion. And it's like all of a sudden we're the bad guys because we're exercising our freedom of speech. You know, it's like
There's been an issue brewing ever since we got fan sites, and ever since they started getting more attention from on the corporate level. You know, it used to be that a director or a writer or anything wouldn't respond to their critics.
Yeah.
You know, that the critic is there to do his job, I'm there to do mine, and that's it. But now their critics are
the fans.
They're not professionals in their view.
Well, yeah, I think the biggest problem is hold on, let's see here. Yes, that's very true. But Darkseid would kick Thanos' ass because remember, guys. Yeah, he would. Okay, so I think
Memes is absolutely right, though. Memes is absolutely right.
Well, that's what this is for this, and that's the thing. Snyder had the thought. Snyder actually had some vision of what he wanted this to into. And what does Feige have? Feige has the vision. That's why Marvel has been successful. And whether or not Snyder has as successful of a brand, they've never given him a chance and done what Disney did with Feige. Because, well, Feige, let's be honest, had like about 4 movies done before Disney got a hold of Marvel. But I think that Feige walked into the office of Bob Iger and put this book down and said, here is my outline for what I'm wanting to do. This is where we're at. It's the next movie. Look at this outline. This is my ideas for each of these movies as it stands right now. That might change, but this is all going to work together. And this is what I want to do. And I think Iger looked at it and says, good to go. Go do it.
Well, and I think also they hit on a formula that was popular with like fans, but also popular with just like generic people who just wanted to, have an entertaining action movie.
I don't sing the praises of Feige completely though either, because I've already seen several cases where he has either A, bent the knee, or B, pandered to the, what I'm talking, where I'm going with that. So he's not spotless, but he is doing a much better job than
he had
most people.
An outline.
Yeah.
Even if it isn't perfect, he had an outline. And for the most part, what that's done is that has organically grown Marvel into this mega powerhouse. Because think about it. when people heard Iron Man as the first movie, they were like, "What the hell are they doing over there?"
Yeah.
Now
I didn't even know there was an MCU yet when Iron Man came out. I had no idea that was going to happen until I saw the end of the movie.
The thing is that he did it and it happened. Now here's the thing. That's why I said the fundamental difference between Marvel and Star Wars has been Feige came in and said, "Look, this is what I have planned," and Iger said, "Go do it." Star Wars, when they bought it, they were just kind of like, "Look, we have all of this stuff we could do," but they had no idea how to do it. That's the difference. That's why one is so well done. Well, that's why one has continuity within itself for the most part, and the other is like, "What are you guys doing over here?" And that's the thing. Snyder had at least enough of that idea, enough of that outline to try to get them somewhere. And yes, it was rushed when they got to BVS and they had 3 superheroes in it. That was
who
rushed.
made the Hulk movie? Who made the Incredible Hulk?
That was Feige. That was Feige.
That was Feige.
That was Feige.
But Feige did that with Paramount because Paramount
he did it with Universal.
Well, I think it's Paramount though.
Universal.
I think Paramount owns Universal.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because one thing I thought, and there's a lot of people that like criticize the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, not the first one, which was the Hulk. That
just Hulk?
Hulk. And the one thing I liked was that even though Hulk isn't part of the MCU, and it was kind of a shit show of a movie. The thing I liked about it is that you could still almost consider the Incredible Hulk as a sequel to Hulk.
Yeah,
almost because they pick up. They pick up where Bruce Banner left off in Hulk, in the same location, the same area. So it could be loosely considered a sequel, but it's not. And that still allows me to at least kind of connect the dots a little bit, and it was a good transition, I thought, and I like
Disney bought Marvel and Marvel Studios back in 2005, I believe, and both Hulk and Iron Man came out in 2008. Now they were already in pre-production at the time that purchase happened, but the thing that gets me is that Feige, yes. I mean, we've gotten much better movies out of Feige than we would have out of anybody else. I don't think anybody else has been able to do the same kind of thing he's been able to do. And it's not because there's anything magical about him. It's just that he planned ahead. And that Disney and Marvel Studios stuck to the plan. DC doesn't stick to any plan. If it isn't the greatest, money-making film of all time, they lose all confidence in it.
Well, I think it's one of the sort of like the negative feedback thing, right? Like if the movies don't do well, then any ability that the director may have had to create a unified product kind of goes out the window because they're getting pushback. That you make enough money.
It just amazes me that
MCU did successfully hit that sweet spot where they got lots of money for the movies they were making. And so it allowed them to continue pushing in that same direction and keep that unified product because there was never any push to try and do it differently.
Iron Man wasn't a huge blockbuster when it came out, though it was a modest success. And Hulk was even more modest.
Yeah, Iron Man was one of Marvel's best-selling comic book characters.
But you see, the thing is, they allowed a couple of movies to not be blockbusters the way that DC often expects all their properties to be, so that they could build up to Avengers, which and now MCU films are among the highest grossing films of all time. But the first phase didn't make as much money as the later phases.
But did Iron Man not make more than they expected it to? Like I thought it was more successful than they had anticipated.
And that was in the rewatch value. People went back and saw it again because it was that good. What I think is really funny is I like to contrast DC and Marvel by this method. And what I think is funny is where DC has not really done the greatest is with the live action, they excel with the animated product, where Marvel is excelling with the live action product, but they're mediocre with their animated product. You know, and it's really a trade-off. It's really
but one makes infinitely more money than
exactly.
Absolutely.
That's
right.
So I mean, that's the problem though, and also we now know that DC and Warner Brothers did a lot of meddling in BVS, and they claimed that what they put out was Snyder's thing, and then Snyder said no, and he basically said, watch this, you guys let me put out what I put out on the DVD, and he did, and everybody likes that product more. So there's the problem. Warner Brothers and DC has this other reputation of meddling in these movies.
What's the difference with Batman versus Superman? I don't know if I've ever seen the
ultimate cut. Watch the ultimate cut and then watch the theatrical cut, and you'll see a huge difference. It's about 20 to 30 minutes longer.
I've only ever seen the ultimate cut, and I can tell you that
most people have.
I didn't see any of the criticisms that people had towards the theatrical cut in the ultimate cut.
No, because it made sense.
It all made sense because it was a longer film. I think it was like at least 35 minutes longer.
Yeah, and again, it's not without criticism to it, because the worst scene in that one is almost as bad as the worst scene in Man of Steel. Because in Man of Steel, it's so like, why didn't he just use his super speed to go save his dad? In that one, he basically says the word Martha because Martha is his mother, is Superman's mother, and it's also Bruce Wayne's mother. So
why did you say that name?
They're going to kill Martha.
I thought that was an awesome scene. I did not agree with anybody who thought that was lame.
I didn't say it couldn't have been an awesome scene. I just don't think the way that it was executed was well. I think it could have been executed much, much better. But I understood for putting it in there. It made sense because he's worried about his mom being killed because he's supposed to kill Batman. And if he doesn't kill Batman, then his mom's dead. So he is saying, hey, they're going to kill my mother. But he says Martha. It would have made more sense of, they're going to kill my mother. Yes. And he says, what do you mean? My mother, Martha. And then Martha, and that would have triggered Bruce Wayne. That would have been a better way of doing it. But it makes sense. It works because, yes, he would have heard that and he would have been like, whoa. And we know this Superman's not one to lie. So he wouldn't have done it to get the upper hand on Batman. He just wants to save his mom. Hey, Caleb, what's going on? All of Zack Snyder's DC movies are good. Most of the criticisms I hear are done. Yes, for the most part, they're not bad. And again, if you put them on par with what the original movies were for Marvel, they're not that much different. It's just Warner Brothers and DC never just say, let's put it on cruise control. Let's give him a minute. Let's see what happens. And let's just kind of back off and let him do what he's going to do. The second we got 2 or 3 failures or a real failure, we can stop him and say, hey, you know what? Screw off.
Shintigism, that's not true because when they first started, Superman goes, Bruce. And he took a step back. He knew
I'm sorry, JJ. I didn't hear it pop. I'm so sorry.
It's all good.
Hey, what's up,
everybody? What's going on? Sorry, I'm late, Chris. I've been here.
You're fine.
I was eating dinner.
You're good. But I mean, and
Ultimate
again,
Edition, right? I'm gonna have to buy that. I don't have that one yet.
It'll have both on it.
It's on Prime for $3.
Yeah, I own it. The hard copy of it.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be. I don't know. It'll have both versions. Watch the theatrical, then watch that one. You'll see the difference. But I just think that
that's a lot of Ben Affleck for me to watch.
Well,
that was the biggest surprise for me for that film. I went in there thinking I was going to see Daredevil all over again, and no, I got probably my favorite. I got my favorite Batman so far, basically. In that film.
I just
that warehouse scene.
Affleck.
Yeah.
He's just one of those actors for me. I've talked about that before. I won't mention it.
The warehouse scene is awesome.
Yeah, the thing about this, the Ben Affleck's Batman, particularly in Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition, is, if you're a criminal in Gotham City and you run into this version of Batman, you are fucked. I mean,
Sorry, I need to explain something to Shiftygism. After Superman left Lex Luthor, he confronted Batman and he said, Bruce. That's when Batman took a step back. He knew he was Bruce Wayne then. Had to clarify that.
That's true. I mean, I can see that shifty. Is that he didn't know he was Kent, and that makes some sense there.
They said Bruce. We don't have to do this.
Yeah, but I think that it's the whole. I don't know. I think that just DC is going to be put into this position. Hold on. Let me see it here. First off, Andrea says, my question is, assuming the big biz fuckery means these IPs are essentially done, what's coming up that we'll be talking about in 2 to 3 decades? I have no clue. I really don't. These DC is going to put themselves into a position of they either are going to totally deny Snyder any chance to finish this up, which is stupid because they're kind of riding on this doing something for HBO Max. I think that their best bet is to say, listen, we're going to give you money to do your movies, but we're going to put them on HBO Max. If they start getting traction there, we'll throw them in the theater.
HBO makes movies, right?
Late adult softcore horror movies.
Oh, that's it?
Well,
I thought they've
already...
Chris,
I got an idea. Does anybody within Geeks and Gamers owe you a favor?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know. Why?
I say get in contact with one of them because Wednesday night, Uche is doing a charity stream, and they're going to have Zack Snyder on there.
Oh,
Ryan's going to be on there. Lethal Lightning's going to be on there. It's like get a hold of anybody you think might owe you a favor, and ask the question: do you want to finish your story?
Oh, that's gonna turn the show media upside down.
Yeah, if they even mention it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
The biggest determination, the biggest example of bias.
I got Uche's Twitter. I mean, I've talked to him on there.
The biggest example of bias that the media exemplifies is in the determination of what is and is not news. If they don't want something to have ever happened, they won't report on it.
Well, that's why I said ask Zach directly because he's going to be there.
It won't matter if they really don't want that story getting out there.
No. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's a charity stream. Zach can say whatever he wants. It's just a simple question.
I'm not arguing that. The rest of the shill media, can ignore that, can totally ignore that, and no one figuratively will ever see it or hear about it again, unless unless it's pushed.
If AT&T was the one that fronted the money for the Snyder Cut, okay, all Zach has to do is go to AT&T and say, "Hey, I want to finish this." What is the company's going to say? AT&T's footing the bill.
The thing, but
I'm not arguing that with you. That is totally not what I'm arguing.
The biggest problem is that's why I said it's going to put DC and Warner Brothers in a corner, and then what they're going to do is AT&T is going to say, well, you're going to have to do it. The problem is when you have a studio and an IP like DC who doesn't want to work with that person, but they're being told by mother, no, you're going to play nice and you're going to do this. It doesn't work for a good. It won't work for good continuity because they will be fighting Zack Snyder on this stuff. So AT&T is going to have to basically say, listen, we're going to give you the platform on HBO Max. And when people are clamoring for it to go to the theater, we'll throw it on the theater. But we're going to basically make sure people know that AT&T is the big boy making this happen. Warner Brothers, DC, get your act in gear because
Warner Brothers has already telegraphed that they've given the franchise away to J.J. Abrams.
Hey, Chris, I have a question about the theatrical release.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Okay, it's going to be 4 hours. Is it going to be 4 hours all in one shot? Or is it going to be on the theater? Because on HBO Max, it's supposed to be every week. The theater is going to be all 4 hours, solid hours? Or is it going to be one episode here? Then they're going to release episode 2 in the theaters. How's that going to work?
This isn't going to the theaters. This one isn't.
I thought it was supposed to be in the theaters as well.
No. This was never going to be in theater. What HBO Max did is they made a deal with Warner Brothers where they got all Warner Brothers movie releases. This is AT&T, who is a parent company, I believe, of HBO also. And they said, well, you guys don't want to do this, but we're going to make you do it. And they basically are saying, we're just going to put it there because this is already a movie that's been released. This is kind of a past tense thing that they're just going to see. I think AT&T is forcing Warner Brothers and DC's hand to see what happens. And again, it's going to screw Warner Brothers and DC over because I think enough people are going to be like, let's see the rest of this.
Exactly.
Right.
I hope it's not a big old hype like when they re-released Endgame and it said, additional scenes. Really? Yeah. 2 minutes and 12 seconds of a bad CGI Hulk. Like, that's it?
Yeah, but no,
I waited for my money for this.
But Darren, all everything put aside, media, everything. The only reason why I suggested it is just to see what Zach thought. That's it.
No, I understand. But what I was getting at was if it's that damaging, especially to the media itself, they will simply refuse to cover it. It'll be up to everybody else to, just like with the existence of the Snyder Cut versus the not, what the media said, being that there was no Snyder Cut.
Right.
It's going to require an upwelling in order to combat that. That's what I was ultimately attempting to get at.
The reason we were talking about that is because what I wanted to know is what the media's take would be on it with Zack Snyder going on Geeks and Gamers, especially after the hit piece they just put out on Geeks and Gamers and all the other channels. They've been actively trying to deface, fan channels just because
that's how they do it.
Again.
I said that when HBO Max leaked or accidentally leaked the first hour of this on the Tom and Jerry part, I honestly believe this is two people. It's not Warner Brothers. It's not DC. This was AT&T and Zack Snyder's people from his production or his company actively trying to undermine Warner Brothers and DC by saying, look, here you go. And enough people saw it. And now it's a story and it's helping their trending because Warner Brothers and DC are doing everything they can not to have this trend. That's why AT&T and Zack Snyder are releasing literally a new look at this and snippets of it almost, if not daily.
Yeah.
Twice a week.
It's been daily.
Yeah. I mean, and their announcement that they intend JJ to take over the DC, and at first didn't fly well either with ideas of Michael B. Jordan taking over as Superman away from Henry Cavill. Every YouTuber I know and I watch, black and white, thought that was a terrible idea.
Black B. Jordan would not like a good Superman. I'm sorry.
No, it's also possible they're trying to increase the hype by sort of acting as though they're suppressing it, which makes it seem like more of a sneaky thing to go watch because it's like, you're sticking it to the big man kind of thing, right? And that builds a lot of hype. So it's possible it's also like a part of its fake like Snyder Cut.
I don't think they're that complex. I honestly don't. They're not able to play 3D chess like that.
Maybe I thought that might be a little bit of an element. Of
I mean, that whole J.J. Abrams announcement they made was a tremendous bitch slap to them. The reaction from the fandom.
That wasn't even a new thing because months ago, if not last year, the rumor already started flying about JJ doing DC.
JJ. There's been reports of JJ having his digs and everything, having his son do a comic book and all sorts of crap.
But they specifically saying that Cavill was out was the huge bitch slap there. Nobody reacted well to that at all.
I'm sorry.
He's still in. I'm sorry.
And I love Cavill as Superman.
Yeah, and if he's out, I know Marvel is going to say, hey, we got a character you might want to play over here, So I mean,
I don't think Henry Cavill would be out.
Hold on, I'll keep talking. I'm trying to write this question because I asked Uche if he'd do it. So I'm talking to him on Twitter really quick. So you guys keep talking while I try to come up with this question, and then I'll read it to you and see what you guys think.
The only thing I know, The only thing I know Henry Cavill is in talks with is a sequel to Passion of the Christ with Mel Brooks. I mean, not Mel Brooks. Mel
Gibson.
Mel Gibson. Thank you. Sorry, Mel Gibson. Talking about the 3-day resurrection. I don't know what I said, Brooks. I'm sorry.
I would love to see that. Actually,
why would Cavill be in talks when Caviezel is the one who played him in the first movie?
Yeah, Caviezel's supposed to be present as well as Jesus. Talking about the 3 days after the resurrection. Mel Gibson's in talks with the studios to do this, and so is.
What does that have to do with Cavill?
Because if he signs on for it, his schedule is packed. He cannot do anything else.
Gotcha. So, what is Cavill playing in that Passion of the Christ sequel then?
Jesus.
Why would he play Jesus when Caviezel was the one who played Jesus in the first film?
I'm sorry. Cavill, he wants a very good, strong, well-known actor.
Yeah, but
Caviezel was in the first film, which was an international blockbuster. Why wouldn't he just go with Caviezel?
Because according to the Bible, nobody recognized Jesus after he was resurrected. He didn't look the same.
That's not true at all. That's not true at all.
It's not.
His disciples recognized him, but not at first because they were expecting him to be.
He hid his appearance at first, and then when their eyes were opened, he was revealed to them. I mean,
right. But you're not going to have that could be handled any number of different ways. I don't see Cavill being in that film at all. But
all right,
yeah.
But I said he said, "Give me your question." So I basically told him, I said I was afraid if I put it in the chat, it's not going to get mentioned. I said, so my question I put in here says, with all the hype behind the release of the Snyder Cut, it finally forced the hand of AT&T, Warner Brothers, and DC. After the release this Thursday of your cut, do you believe they will back that your fans or that people, that people? Do you believe people will back a campaign to finish your full Snyderverse vision? And if so, are you interested in finishing it? Yes, no?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, I like the word. I like how you have the word vision in there. So yeah, it's his idea. His
or how about
vision.
Back a campaign to finish your full vision? Okay, there we go. I'll just send that.
LDG's been awful quiet. I'm kind of worried.
He has been.
Probably not really here. He's probably busy doing something somewhere else, and he's pretending to be here.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
But
I'm here and listening to you guys talk about Snyder cuts. The past freaking Snyder this and Snyder that and Snyder that.
Well, if you read the description,
it was the topic of conversation for today.
That was one of those two topics.
Scroll down.
I still think Snyder isn't as big as a trend as everybody says it is. At least me checking
we're about ready to find out. That's the thing. We're about ready to find out because again,
math doesn't add up, and I think they leaked it just to try to give it a push because they knew for a fact that Snyder Cut was dying.
No, that's why I said, because the Snyder Cut, when it comes to DC and Warner Brothers, they're doing everything they can to keep it under the radar, and AT&T and Snyder and his company is doing everything they can to raise it up. So yes, I believe what you said, LDG, is that this had something to do with AT&T and maybe Snyder's people trying to throw it out there and undermine it, and that's why I think it was leaked. I don't think that was an accident, and we've already talked about that. I don't think that hour that was released, it was an exact hour. People are saying, how in the world?
You think Snyder actually has people? It's not just him. He has people.
He's got people out there.
I thought it was the first section, like the first chapter.
Yes. Oh. Yeah, but the thing is that's right. It is, but that's the thing. If it was an accident, if that was like, oh shit, they're playing it. We even said it'd be like, oh crap, stop it, just cut it, do it. They wouldn't have waited.
Yeah, they'd be able to cut it right away. Exactly. Exactly. Right.
And that's the thing. But I think AT&T did it because AT&T owns HBO and HBO Max. And they said, fine, you know what, Warner Brothers and DC, you guys are trying to subvert everything that we're doing to try to get at least people to watch this, because it makes sense that AT&T wants money from this. So they want people subscribing. And so what they're doing is they're releasing all these freaking promos for it all over online. And yet on CW, what do? They had 2 things for Kong versus Godzilla, and they had nothing for the Snyder Cut.
Yep.
Yeah, Chris, 3 hours ago, the official Snyder Cut Justice League Twitter dropped a 2-minute and 19-second new video trailer. Darkseid, Batman, Aquaman. Yeah. They're dropping shit like crazy on Twitter.
I'm looking forward to eventually seeing this Snyder Cut. It probably won't be this week because
I'm interested. I just don't want. I don't want to get HBO Max. I
can't get HBO Max.
You can get it.
Don't worry.
You can get it for 1 month, and watch what you need to watch.
Don't worry about it, Tim.
And
you know a few people that are doing watch parties for it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there is.
I just hope I'm home for them. That's all.
Hey guys, there's an official watch party with Zack Snyder. You guys want the link?
Huh.
I'll put it in private chat. I'll put it in private chat for you. There you go. I'm also going to retweet it out. So there, tweeted. Snyder Cut watch party. Watch with Zack Snyder.
Cool.
RSVP now.
Thanks, Eli.
There you go. 4 days. 44 minutes.
Yeah, it'll depend on the time of day. I mean, I'm not watching something in the middle of the night because I gotta be at work, so I can't be up in the middle of the night-ish. And if it's when I'm at work, then I'm at work. So, and especially if it's 4 hours long, that's an awful lot of time for me to spend watching anything during a weekday.
Yeah, I definitely won't binge it.
No.
I am.
RSVP.
I am. I'm gonna sit there, pack me a fresh bowl, and just sit back and enjoy the movie.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like a plan, man.
I'm registered.
No, this is the Snyder Cut is one of those battlegrounds between the fans and the media, and also the industry. I mean, you think that this movie thing is bad. You should see what the comic book landscape, what's left of it, is like. You have comic book professionals openly insulting and essentially commanding the fan base not to react to certain things. It would be totally ridiculous if if to anybody if I described it to you. I mean, you've got how many of you know who Heather Antos is?
Never heard the name.
If you don't like my comics, don't buy my book.
Heather Antos. I was an editor at Marvel Comics who was hired essentially by out of ignorance. She of course what happens when you invite a girl who's just graduated college. She wanted to get into publishing. Well, as soon as she gets in as an editor, she starts inviting all of her college friends in to take over editor positions on superhero comics, and pretty soon Marvel's numbers are in the toilet, worse than they've ever been. But her most recent tweet, when it came to she was reacting to the way fans were criticizing how comic book professionals treat them on Twitter. And her, and this thing is everywhere now. She says that comic book professionals are not customer service representatives, meaning don't expect them to treat you with any kind of as if you're a customer. And this has been just a point of contention. She is no longer at Marvel, by the way. She's working at, I think, Valiant now, but hasn't learned a thing. And this is the kind of thing that the comic book industry has been dealing with for 20, 30 years now. And it's been bleeding over into the movies for the last 10 or so. So none of this is new to me at all. Yeah. What we're seeing.
All right, guys. We're right about an hour and 20 minutes. I'm still talking to Uche, and we'll see what we can get done with that question. We'll see. Keep an eye on that. So, There you go. But I'm going to continue this conversation with Uche. We'll see what we can get done. Let's see here. What it says in the private chat. Oh yeah. It's I'll copy this and I'll put it in the normal chat. If you guys want to watch the Snyder Cut with Zack Snyder, that is the watch party, I guess. And guys, I appreciate it. Why don't you tell everybody about yourselves and where you can be found? Start with you, Dandelion Floof.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Mostly you can find me lurking in chats. Other times you can find me lurking on people's panels. Usually ones where I don't have to know anything about the topic at hand because I usually don't know anything about the topic at hand. You can follow me on Instagram because that's my main social media thing. I'm also Dandelion Fluff there. I take a variety of pictures and post them. And, nothing terribly exciting. I'm just me.
She's a lovely musician, artist, worker.
So,
yeah, a little bit.
Redhead.
Part of the ginger cabal.
Yes. That's me.
All right. Austinator, the moderator.
Yeah.
Austinator, the moderator.
Moderator-nator.
The moderator.
Moderator-nator.
A moderator.
Gotta get that right.
Austinator, tell the people about yourself.
Y'all, you can find me on my channel. I can't do it the entire time.
Oh, come on. Even I can do it better
than
that.
Oh, come on, man.
You got to get into you got to get a personality.
Let him speak.
That indeed. But yeah, I got my own YouTube channel. I think I'm 2 subscribers away from hitting 130, and I'm trying to reach 150. I do a bunch of stuff over there. I read fan fiction, play video games, talk wrestling. I do a lot of stuff over there. Just go check that stuff out. And you can find me on other channels like The Real Review 3000 for the weekly wrap-up. JJ, aka Sith Lord 3827's channel for randomness at its finest. Occasionally, you can find me on Geeks Enjoy Nerdrotica, LDG Pixels Backstage for nerdgasms. And I have Twitter at the Austinator 17. So if you ever want to be updated on when I stream, go check me out. Thanks for having me on, Chris.
Not a problem. I love having you guys here, each and every one of you. Elihu, go ahead and tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found.
Hey, I'm Elihu, and I'm not lost this time. Yay! And I can be found everywhere and nowhere at the same time. But I can be specifically found every Wednesday at 12 noon, specifically with my show called What's Up with the Universe, where we talk astronomy, astrophysics, science, like magic but real.
Sciencey fun.
And go Pacific time.
Yay, specifically.
Yeah.
Time.
All right.
Atlantic's better.
No, everything's central.
No,
Everything is central to Central Time. Thank you very much. Up next is Darren. Darren, tell everybody about yourself and your channel.
And thanks for having me on, Chris, and making me not last.
Okay, there you go.
And you got a super chat.
Yes, $5 super chat. Dandelion. Okay. No, take the day off, woman. I took Thursday and Friday off. I think DC will finally make positive steps in reference to movie making. Hopefully.
Sorry, Danny, I can't.
Thank you very much, Danny.
Honestly, it's like the busy season. I work in horticulture. I will be swamped for the next 3 months.
Yep.
Oh, horticulture, all right. Horticulture and swamp. That was great.
All right. Darren, go ahead and tell everybody about yourself and where you can be found.
I'm Darren Wagner. My channel is Darren Wagner. I'm an author. In addition to the book that I have on Amazon, I also did do a superhero comic back in 2006 called Hyperactives from Alias Comics that sold out pretty much everywhere it went. You can still find copies of it online, or you can see it on Comixology. But if you're curious, I did put in private chat. I can't put it in regular chat. The Wikipedia article for the comic. I do videos also about various things. I have a series called Star Trek from a Submariner's Perspective, where I compare Star Trek concepts to real-life submarine Navy concepts, because there is a lot of parallels there. Mm-hmm. And that's it. You can check out my videos there, and I'll take it away, whoever's next.
actually, and one of the best scenes I think for that perspective is from Wrath of Khan when they're in the nebula, because it is very much that three-dimensional thinking, because people don't understand that in the air, even though there's three-dimensional thinking, you can see when all of that stuff is taken out, like it is by that nebula. When all your vision is taken out, you very much rely on a lot of different things that you normally wouldn't. And no, I love that scene, and you're absolutely right. There's a very large amount of parallels between the two. So.
It was really cool until they started using actual submarine commands.
Yeah,
you know, they started doing right standard rudder in like Star Trek 6. I was like, wait, what? I thought that was kind of funny, but
all right. Up next, Tim Christ.
I am Tim Christ. I am kind of like Elihu. I'm everywhere and nowhere at the same time. You'll find me 90% of the time living rent-free in LDG Pixels backstage, also known as Geeks Enjoy Nerdotica. I can't say it because it's too long of a name. Otherwise, I'm kind of trying to learn my way around the YouTube and the internet. I'm starting to get a little better, starting to learn a little bit about OBS and StreamYard. So maybe sooner or later, I might actually start streaming myself. But until then, you can check out my channel. I have got 1 or 2 videos of just some stuff that I've done. I have in my channel description some links to some of my favorite 24/7 YouTube movie channels. You might want to check them out. They're quite entertaining, especially the Fallout ones. Other than that, thank you, Chris, for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
Hey, Tim, you might want to try acronyms. So, hanging out at the Nerd Gen.
Acronyms. I'm not good with acronyms.
Geeks Enjoy Nerdotica. You're hanging out at the Nerd Gen.
Okay.
Who just dropped? Oh, Darren did. Okay.
JJ, you're last.
Yep. Go ahead, JJ. Tell everybody about yourself. You're
Wake up,
muted.
JJ. Unmute yourself.
You're muted. You're muted.
I knew it.
I don't even remember doing that. No, I don't
We
even
need to
remember
take a
doing
shot every time JJ does that.
We'd be drunk by then.
that. For real, I didn't even know my mic was muted. I don't remember doing it. But yeah, I know I'm last. I'm always last, but that's okay. People save the best for last. So, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy JJ. You can find me a little bit of everywhere and a lot of nowhere. You can find me here on Sundays on Chris Knight's channel. You can find me on Anzo's channel later on this evening for the final WandaVision roundtable. And you'll find me tonight over on HanStar's channel. He's doing something a little special. He's doing an interview with Mandy Summers. I'll be there making sure everybody behaves themselves. And you can find me Mondays on my channel. I do a weekly live stream called Randomness at its Finest. Random panel, random topic situation. Come by, check it out. Like, share, subscribe. All the good stuff that goes with it. You can catch me back over on Biggaford Entertainment on Tuesday for the KHAOS list with the KHAOS crew. And we switched to the KHAOS channel this week, right, Chris?
Yes, we do. Okay. Starting on Monday with Danny's show.
Yep. We'll be on the KHAOS Central YouTube channel. Come by, go by over there, check it out, subscribe, watch all your favorite KHAOS shows there. The Chaotic Conversation, the KHAOS List, the Rule of Three with Side of Basco, and some possible new things coming down the pipe in the near future. So just pay attention and watch out. And then last but not least, you'll find me right here sometimes on Thursday night for the Weekly Rumble. Sometimes as a contestant or as a combatant, as I like to say, or sometimes Chris brings me in and I change things up as a wild card. Thanks for having me on. And like I said, sorry I was late, man.
No, you're perfectly fine. That's great. Guys, that's it. I need let's see here. I need JJ, Tim, Elihu. All you guys stay after the stream. I want to talk to you really quick about something. You're all in trouble, just so you know.
I can't be in trouble. I don't do anything.
I don't need to
I'm on my own fucking business.
I didn't do it. Nobody saw me camera thing.
In trouble.
I think it's all Elihu's fault.
I didn't do it. Nobody saw me camera thing.
To Zach, Andrea, Danny, Memes of Destruction, LDG,
Shifty.
Let's see here. Who else do we have? We had Shifty Gizm. We had David here.
I think Nindroid was in there at one point.
Nindroid was in here for a second. Let's see here. Caleb was here. Everybody that showed up today, guys, thank you very much. We kind of did things differently. I just kind of went live, didn't really promote it today. I just want to see if the tags and stuff kind of gave me the same numbers, because that'll let me know what I can do. I'm trying to really work stuff out on the channel to get bigger numbers, start getting more people in over here. But thank you for bearing with me, guys, today. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. With that said, we're going to wrap it up right now. So if I can find my new outro. There it is. Guys, stay classy.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and never forget to ring that bell. Follow Chris Knight and The Real Review 3000 on these platforms. For email and Patreon, see the description box below. To reach the Ego, use Twitter handle @TheEgo5150. We would like to thank the generous members of The Real Review 3000. Those members are Jesse Ritchie, JJ, aka SithLord3827, Poe, Flash, Lady Tariel, and Anzo Biggaford Entertainment. Thank you for your support and donations that help us at The Real Review 3000 bring you, the viewer, better content. For more information on how to become a member, click the join button below.